Good day to all. Today's topic is masking and demasking. Masking is nothing but something is not revealed, like veil. Demasking means unveiling, means removing the veil. We'll see in detail. Masking is a process in which substance is prevented in reaction participation. We don't want one substance. Suppose any sample is having two or three types of metal ions. We don't want a particular metal not to involve in the reaction. For that, we will do masking. Chemicals used to mask the targeted substance is called masking agent. Masking agents acts by precipitating the target substance and forming complex which is more stable. So by these two methods, masking agents will mask the targeted substance which we don't want that to be react in the titration. Masking prevents one element from interfering in the analysis of another. Let us see masking by precipitation. Many heavy metals can be precipitated in the form of insoluble precipitates by using precipitating agents. By using these precipitating agents, we are going to precipitate metals. Those are specific. Sulfates. If you use sulfates, then you can precipitate lead and barium. Oxalate, calcium and lead. Fluorides, calcium, magnesium, lead. Ferrocyanide, zinc and copper. Sodium sulfide, copper, cobalt and lead. 8-hydroxyquinoline, many heavy metals. So by using 8-hydroxyquinoline, we can precipitate many metals such that thioglycerol is used to precipitate copper. Next, masking by complex formation. Many heavy metals can be separated in the form of insoluble complexes using masking agents. These are thioacetamide to mask these metals and potassium cyanide to mask these potassium iodide. This is specific for mercury. Taron, aluminium and titanium are as colorless complexes. Triethanol amine, colorless complex with aluminium, yellow complex with iron, green with manganese. Demasking, a process by which a masked metal ion is released to be free metal ion. Previous we have seen masking means we are preventing a specific metal not to interfere in the titration. Here we are demasking means we are making that metal which we have masked to be free from the masking. The process is known as demasking. It is then made to capable of undergoing its usual reaction by adding a reagent called demasking. So it is the process in which masking has its ability to take part in the reaction. Example, cyanide can be removed. Cyanide masking can be removed by using formaldehyde and acetic acid on addition of demasking agent. So, zinc is liberated and then titrated. Applications of masking and demasking with example. In the assay of lotions containing zinc and copper, zinc is masked because we wanted to analyze copper. We don't want to analyze zinc at that point. So we will mask zinc by using potassium cyanide, leaving copper alone to react with EDTA. After titrating, all the copper will be titrated and then zinc is demasked with formaldehyde and acetic acid mixture, and further titration is carried out to determine the zinc present in the sample. Like this, we are going to apply the masking and demasking. We'll see in detail in the determination of calcium and zinc in a given mixture. So in a given sample, we are having calcium and zinc. We know that the zinc will be masked with potassium cyanide and it will form to a zinc cyanide complex. See here, this is zinc and potassium cyanide is masked, masking the zinc such that the zinc is not available for EDTA to react and form a zinc EDTA complex because potassium cyanide has formed a precipitation layer around the zinc. Hence, the other metal, that is calcium, is available. The only metal is calcium which is available to react with EDTA. Hence, there is no interference of zinc to the calcium determination. After titrating, then we'll go for demasking. Means we wanted to determine zinc amount also. So for this, we will use formaldehyde and acetic acid such that the mask is removed. So this is the equation. Then we'll get the free zinc metal ion, which is then titrated with standard EDTA solution. So this is the application of masking and demasking.